Yeah, my name is Eboh Theresa. I will be speaking on the relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation among children attending Ajao Health Center, Oshodi, Lagos, Nigeria. Analysis and findings. A total of 50 mothers. A total of 50 mothers were analyzed, and they were presented on the respondents were shown according to their distributed according to their age, to the ages, according to their marital status, occupation, religion, and educational level. Then the first research question is about what is the relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation? Hello?
Yes, Teresa, we can able to hear you. Please proceed.
Okay. What is the relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation? The findings from the first research question show that 63 respondents agreed to the relationship, that's the relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation. Why 63.5 disagreed? This brings to the relationship that there is a relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation. On the third research question, it brings to the question, can malnutrition affect physical and mental health? From the findings, it shows that 43% of the respondents agreed that malnutrition affects physical and mental development of a child, while 10% of the respondents do not agree to this. Therefore, there is a conclusion that there's a poorly answered question that accepts it and makes it acceptable. On the research question 4, is there a need of balanced diet to a growing child? From the findings, 74% of the respondents felt that lack of nutrients in the diet are causes of malnutrition, while 26% of the respondents disagreed. Broadly, a healthy balanced diet means eating a range of foods from the 5 main groups in the correct proportions for that particular individual. Some parents who do not know the value of nutritional diet give their children inadequate dieting foods. The second question have 42 respondents agree with the question that low income or poverty is the cause of malnutrition, while 29% of the respondents disagreed with the question. With a degree of agreed respondents, we discover that children from low income families are likely to eat a narrower range of poorer quality foods with higher levels of standard saturation. The third question, with 70% respondents agreed with this question that persistent vomiting is the root cause of malnutrition, while 15% of the respondents disagreed with the question. Excess nutrients and strength are being lost during the process of persistent vomiting. The first question has 68 respondents agreed with the question that having limited knowledge about nutrition is the major cause of malnutrition, while 32% of the respondents disagreed with the question. The respondents believe that inadequate knowledge of nutrition is the major cause of malnutrition. Most mothers do not pay attention to what they eat when the child is still in utero, and they do not ensure adequate intake of balanced diet. The second research question says, what is the relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation? The first question to answer the research question is, diarrhea is the root cause of growth retardation. The question has 80% responded in support, while 20% responded disagreed with the research question. Though minority of the respondents believe that diarrhea is not the root cause of growth retardation, but the majority of the respondents and the researcher believe that diarrhea illness impair weight as well as height gains, with the greatest effects being seen with recurrent illness, which reduce the critical catch-up growth that otherwise occurs after diarrhea illness or severe malnutrition. The question C says, malnutrition is the major cause of growth retardation. 76% responded in support of it, while 24% disagreed with the question. There is no doubt that the nutritional status of both parents has an impact on the growth and development of the infant. Rapid development of the fetus in the first few weeks means that this is a particular vulnerable time for damage from lack of specific nutrients or environmental influences like drugs and alcohol. The seventh question says inadequate weaning diet and food intolerance are major causes of malnutrition. This question has 90% respondents supported this statement, while 10% respondents disagreed with this question. Early weaning has been associated with increased gain and food intolerance, whereas iron deficiency anemia occurs when a balanced range of foods are not offered. A child with anemia has low levels of iron, hemoglobin in their bloodstream, often through eating insufficient amount of meat and fresh vegetables. Significance of the study. The findings from the study brings to therefore the relationship between malnutrition and growth retardation. Mothers will also be educated on how to adequately care for their children so as to prevent malnutrition and growth retardation and other complications among the children in Ajao Health Center. It also furnished the parents or guardian of the children with the knowledge about consequences or complications of malnutrition. They will take precautions to prevent malnutrition. It will also add to the existing body of knowledge on malnutrition. The study also enables the institution and the community to maintain nutritional lifestyle practices, reduce intake of a particular food or meal. Then intake of adequate nutrition will be emphasized. When a pregnant mother is advised to go for proper antenatal care, where she is given health education during the period of pregnancy, she is placed on drugs for healthy growth of the baby and the mother. Method. The research design for this research work is survey research design. According to Eboh, the survey research helps to collect detailed factual information that describes existing phenomena, identify problems or justify current conditions and practices, make comparisons and evaluations. The study was mainly on 20 to 40 years of childbearing women, and the sample was 50. The sample size is 50, and questionnaire was distributed in the above place in the center. And the data was collected and purpose of the study was analyzed. The researcher went to the welfare clinic where the questionnaires were distributed and analyzed in percentages. Thereafter, presented and frequency tables for items on Likert scale. Conclusion. Malnutrition and growth retardation usually occur together. A high prevalence of the energy deficiency disease in any society is a reflection of the overall inability of that society to feed itself. This is because when a nation is unable to optimally nourish her citizens by meeting their protein and energy needs on diets that contain a variety of foods, which is the most basic reflection of being healthy, that nation must regard herself as a very sick society indeed. This inability to feed herself not only leaves the citizen weak and sick physically and also psychologically. This affects individual productivity at work and for the children at school, thereby reducing the full potential of their citizen. In the end, the triad of undernutrition, nutritional disease, growth retardation, and early death is unleashed on the citizen. In Nigeria, food consumption is generally deficit, both in quality and quantity among the poor, thus promoting increased disease burdens, inability by the women to produce healthy children that would compete favorably with the children in the highly competitive world. However, on account of limited resources, special attention must be paid to the vulnerable groups, including children, especially under 2 years of age, from low socio-economic strata, whose parents have misconceptions concerning the use of foods, who live under poor unsanitary conditions, and whose societal beliefs prohibited the use of many nutritious foods. In addition to food production activities at community level, health and nutrition education should be coupled with emphasis on having children by choice rather than chance, adequate feeding and safer and adequate supplementary feeding with locally available winning foods. Further suggestions for the research. It is important to educate the masses, not only pregnant women, about the need for using local foodstuff and balanced diet in community to eradicate malnutrition. The non-government organizations like the World Health Organization should send cultural anthologists into the field to assign them to learning and understanding the importance of food in the society in order to teach the community. These are my references. Alade I, Public Health Nutrition. Seals, M. Me, M. CK. Thomas Lennon, Barbara Wheeler,